Folks, I have no ropes or anything else, just myself here. I want to start by simply quoting somebody who's better known than I am, changing the words slightly. Imagine a world where we are always cultivating, yet never cultured. Recently I was commissioned to do a painting for Belfast City Hall. It was to interpret Irish history and the heritage of Belfast. It seemed like a good idea when the commission started, and towards the end I realised it was this incredible political balancing act. As everybody tried to analyse what the people may have said, what they may have done, or what they may have told them that the person had done, and therefore did they fit the criteria of ending up in the wall of City Hall or not. It struck me we were just managing the emblems under equality legislation, and that's really what the art piece was about. And that's why I start with the statement, imagine a world where we are always cultivating, yet never cultured. Imagine that world which is Northern Ireland, where we always have programmes and policies and strategies to explore cultural diversity and funding to do so, and yet somehow we are always cultivating, yet never cultured. The two words come from the same etymology, culturing and being cultured. And yet it's not that complicated, is it? Surely culture isn't. If I use my own definition, I don't think it is some kind of strange socio-economical, political identity model. Culture is simply telling your story. It is simply the story that has shaped you and the story of generations past. A person without a story is a person who has never lived. And a city without a story is a city which has never lived. Now, whenever we think of culture like that, we have plenty of stories. Belfast is rich and full of stories. Literature, music, Christian, Celtic, mythological traditions, manufacturing, painful experiences of hardship. We have exported culture and people, ideas and economic prosperity around the world. Yet when I walk through Belfast city centre, I want to know, where is it? I want to hear it talking to me from the footsteps. I want to hear the buildings telling me about the stories of Belfast and the city that it has been and the city that it is going to be. Where it has come from, a clue to where it is going. Where are the stories? Where is the rich heritage? I want my city to make me proud. I want my city to tell me that story. Our problem is not that we don't have a story. The problem is that for too long we have argued over the story. And we have claimed offence each time somebody else has told their story. As Paul has said, just this week I've been on the news and various things because I committed the cardinal sin of painting the cardinal with a child's dummy kit around his neck. I seemed to be a good idea to me at the time. However, it's still very normal. The painting, of course, would have remained in obscurity like most paintings if someone hadn't decided they were offended. And deep down they understood that I probably had a strategy for the overthrow of the Cardinal, the Papacy and Vatican City by the close of business next Tuesday. Yeah, surely the culture of the Irish has always been to nurture a healthy disrespect for our overlords. We were postmodern before we were ever modern. Offence is what is holding us back. Politicians must understand that cultural heritage cannot be sanitised. Cultural proponents must understand that culture is too fragile to be used for political, tribal or religious purposes. Businesses must realise that engagement with the arts and culture is good PR. My fear is that our city is in danger of becoming a cultural orphan, separated from its parental and historical DNA. A city with some kind of nasty form of cultural Alzheimer's. I find a clue in the term cultural identity. If it is an identity, we should be able to find it. And I believe every 12-year-old should be able to walk through the city and see it, and the blue plaques are great, but they go over our head. We need to come home to our culture. We need to tell our stories again, be proud of our stories. Culture doesn't owe us anything. It was here before us. We're in the last